Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So I was just doing a routine check and I happened to notice that this particular succulent was having a little bit weird growth, and when I did a close inspection you can see that there are a lot of pups. Now honestly I do not like when this happens. Of course I love pups, but I do not like when the succulent starts putting out pups like this. Because the entire shape of the succulent tends to get disrupted, and it no longer stays very compact. Now this is an Echeveria. I'm not very sure about the exact ID, but it's from the genus of Echeveria. So by putting out these pups, it has spoiled the entire look, and this is the same variety. You can see how beautiful it tends to look when it is very compact and without any pups in the center. Now I was doing a little bit of research, and from what I got to know is this can usually happen when there is a little bit of damage to the stem. Now when I'm talking about damage, it's not because of dryness or because of any kind of rot, but usually while handling the succulents, a lot of times the leaves are kind of shaken, and when that happens there is a small little cut on the stem, due to which the pups tend to show up. Or a lot of times when the leaf is disconnected slightly from the stem, it starts putting out pups. You might have come across this whenever there is a pup or there is a leaf that has been dislocated from the stem, but it's still connected to the stem. It will put out a pup and roots as well. So the same thing happened with this, and you can see it's starting to put out a lot of pups in the in between the leaves and the stem. The only issue is I do love pups, but the issue is it is going to disrupt the entire look of the succulent, and I'll have to kind of separate the pups by taking out a lot of leaves, and that kind of spoils the shape of the succulent. But again, that is only one of the factor. There could be other multiple factors with it, but one of the factor is when it is kind of damaged during the handling, it tends to do this. You can see my Ben Bardis as well. It had the same issue. It was putting out so many pups. I had to literally take out all the pups. Once they reached a decent size, of course, I had to separate each and one of them. And unfortunately, I had to, kind of cut off the mother plant and then put her in separate containers, and the pups in separate containers. You will be able to see it in the next link in the next video. You can see the pups are doing extremely well over here. I had separated them quite some time back. There were so many pups that they were not fitting in the same pot, so I had to segregate them in two different pots, and you can see now they're doing quite well. So basically I had to take out each pup from the stem, and I also had to cut off the mother plant. Like I had to do a beheading. The mother plant is also in another pot. Let me check, it's over here. This is the mother plant of the Ben Bardis. So that one was also doing quite well. I hope she does not put out the pups the same way, because then I have to go ahead and cut it off. But nevertheless, the pups are doing amazing. You can see the amount of pups. They are very healthy. They are being kept in indirect bright light. So I'm not exposing them to direct sunlight, because there are chances they might get dehydrated or they might get burnt, because they're still very young. They're very small pups. So I do not want to take the chance of exposing them to direct sunlight. Any which ways, in indirect bright light as well, you can see they are very compact. They do have the color, but when you expose them to direct sunlight, they get even more intense color. But as of now, I'm going to pass that off. I'll let them be in indirect bright light. So they get indirect bright light for around 8 to 9 hours, which is working out truly well. And watering is the same. Whenever the soil is completely bone dry, I tend to water it, and the soil mix remains the same what we use for our adult succulents, and that is 80% of aquarium sand and 20% of filtered garden soil. So guys, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.